Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Dawes Gaming, and today I'm going over everything you need to know about the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of all of these games. And I will be breaking down all of them in their own individual video, but today I'm going to give a brief overview for all of them and then talk about how this affects the Nintendo Switch 2. Because all of these games are going to be amazing, because these 6 games that were chosen, 4 of them are old games, 2 of them are just enhanced visuals that are probably going to have the same release date as the Switch 1 versions. It's going to be a great thing, because the Switch 1 games were some of the best in the Switch 1, but let's get right into it. Okay, so Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. That is awesome, in my opinion, because the Nintendo Switch edition of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were both amazing games. They were some of the best on the platform, both top 10 games, which is really hard to say. Top 10 games getting a new edition is really good, because this, in my opinion, Tears of the Kingdom is my favorite Zelda game of all time. So being able to play in 4K with the new Zelda Notes is going to be awesome. Zelda Notes is basically its own little thing on the smartphone using the Nintendo Switch app, and it basically is Google Maps, or you can unlock hidden memories, you can share auto build, or you can share items. There's a lot of cool and fun stuff that you can do on this new phone app, which I think is going to be really interesting of how they incorporate it, because I think that the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Zelda Notes is going to be very important for the Nintendo Switch 2, because when you look at it, when the Switch 2 is going to be coming in at the end of its lifespan, if these games weren't in 4K, we'd have a problem. But now let's talk about Kirby. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is getting a brand new DLC upgrade with the Nintendo Switch 2 edition called the Star-Crossed World. The Star-Crossed World is basically a new campaign that takes place in the Forgotten Land. So I truly think that Kirby's Forgotten Land adventure wasn't a top 10 game. It was probably a top 15 game. So getting a top 15 game ported is going to be really good. Metroid Prime 4. This game has not come out yet, but with the new features, it's going to be in 4K and it's going to be in mouse mode. Those are the main differences with the Nintendo Switch 2 edition versus the Nintendo Switch edition. So I'm really excited for it, because what I've seen from Treehouse footage and press day and all that other stuff, it looks like mouse mode is going to be really fun to play with, because what we've seen so far is an instant transition. But Metroid Prime 4 is not the only game that hasn't come out yet getting a Switch 2 edition. Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out probably in November, when every Pokemon game comes out, since it's saying late 2025. And this will not add any new modes, but it will, of course, add 60 frames per second, hopefully, and maybe 1080p, hopefully. Okay, so I think that now that we've given a brief overview of all of them, besides Super Mario Party Jamboree, which I made its own video on, so I really think that if you guys want to see Jamboree, I did a full detailed analysis before I knew I was going to start the series, so go check it out if you haven't already, because it's a really good video. I actually made 2 videos on it, but the Switch 2 editions just seem like they're going to be awesome, so I can't wait for the eventual day that the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. But what does all this mean for Switch 2? Because the Switch 2 is going to be very important that it's successful, because all of this stuff is going to be a really interesting thing, because many people say that it's really scummy that they're costing you $10 to $20 just for the 4K, but you're getting new game modes. I really think that this is going to improve the health of the Switch 2, because they're not going to be able to port 100 million games from the Wii U because the Switch wasn't a failing console. This is their way to get around that and their way to have a new exciting game each month in the early development behind the Nintendo Switch 2 and pad out its library in its early months and years. So I really can't wait for the eventual day that the Switch 2 editions come out. By the way, if you don't know when they come out, the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild come out on launch day, June 5th. Super Mario Party Jamboree is coming out July 17th. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is coming out August 28th. And Pokemon Legends ZA Switch 2 Edition is coming out late 2025. And then Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 Edition is coming out sometime in 2025. I think getting 6 Switch 2 editions in quick succession is going to be really nice because I'm just so looking forward to almost all of these games. And if you already have, let's say, Tears of the Kingdom on your Switch, then you only have to buy the upgrade pack. Then it's only like a $10 or $20 upgrade because we don't know the price yet. But that's going to be really cool once we know that, because it's just going to be a really quick and easy upgrade. And if any of you guys have the Nintendo Switch expansion pack to Switch Online, you get Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for free if you already had them on your Switch 1, which means that for someone like me that already had Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild on my Switch 1, and I'm in the expansion pack membership, that means I can just get these upgrades for free, which hopefully is a lot of them, because I'm just really excited for all of these Switch 2 editions because of all the new extra content that they end up adding. I think that the Switch 2 editions will be very important for the health and life of the Switch 2 because porting games over is going to be very important because that's how they're going to do it. They don't have a failing Wii U, like I've already said. So I can't wait personally. Please make sure to tell me what you guys think in the comments down below because the Switch 2 editions are going to be very interesting. Many people are very negative and some are very positive. It depends on who you ask. So I want to see what you guys think in the comments below. What's your opinion on the Nintendo Switch 2 editions? Because I think the Switch 2 editions are going to be very important to the console's success. But leave your opinion in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can see the next video the moment it gets uploaded. Right now I'm doing daily content, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see all of it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.